Hi guys, and welcome to Town Hall Episode 3. I am your host, Zoia. We are Heroes of the Storm podcast, and with me, only two of the co-hosts are here. Let's get started with the introductions. Below me, looking sexy as hell right now, he is He-Man's arch nemesis. It's Schamtoo. How you doing, man?
Start off! Oh, that's the one, right. Schamtoo! Ha! Yes, I'm doing alright. How are you?
Oh, man, he actually asked how I was doing.
I know. I'm kind of a big deal right now. I don't know if you've
man.
heard this, but I got featured by
You are.
Blizzard.
Yo.
You are
No.
offensive.
Yeah,
No,
you
I'm
were
kidding.
right below Caldor, almost there.
Almost there.
Someday.
And then to my left, it is the only MLG employee who's half man, half bear. It's my good friend Solid Jake. How you doing, man?
Quite excellent. Quite excellent. And I will actually take that as a compliment because it's relatively accurate.
It's more than relatively accurate. It's
Really? Because
Pretty
I would
damn
say
good.
he's just bearable.
Damn. Terrible puns. Terrible puns. We'll see more of those later.
See.
Episode 3, guys. We have a great show planned for you. I think this is going to top Episode 2, which topped Episode 1 in my opinion. We have a lot of great things to talk about. Let's just go ahead and jump into what Schamtoo was talking about earlier, is the So You Think You Can Cast, Blizzard's attempt to give casters a little bit of extra exposure. And Schamtoo made number 2 on the list.
It wasn't a number, it was I was featured.
Yeah.
I didn't make number 2. I was featured, I was embedded, everybody else had a link there, so you know what, stop making me out to be so amazing.
Yeah, okay, my bad. A lot of good casts got up there. My cast ended up being up there. Jake, did your cast end up being up there?
Yeah. Fuck you. But so I mean, omegablackmage and I were supposed to do a cast together. He's going through some stuff with his family right now, and it didn't happen. So that's kind of why he's not here and why we didn't get our cast up. But
Wow, way to rub it in, Zoya.
look forward to more casts, or some casts in general from us soon.
So let's just touch on, what are your guys' thoughts on Blizzard? This is the second time they've done that, where they've posted kind of featured casts and trying to get exposure. I mean, how much like Schamtoo, I mean, you actually got featured this time around. Like, how much of an impact did it have on you as a caster?
Well, my cast was sitting at about 140 viewers, 140 views last night, and today it's at 1,300.
Wow.
So yeah, it was actually like I was really kind of whoa, that actually really impacted a lot. So that was really kind of cool.
What about
Yeah,
I guess not emotionally, but how does it feel as a caster to be
Oh no, I'm at 1,100.
on a Blizzard website?
That was freaking awesome. I mean, that's just the more kind of things like this just make me feel better. But I mean, I think it's great that they're already looking at commentary for the game. They're kind of trying to bring more people to bring more perspectives to it. There are a lot of people who did foreign languages too, which I don't think
I
they
saw
got
that.
included
That's really cool. Yeah.
in the initial links. But I was listening to the German casts, and they were freaking awesome.
Yeah, I think I watched the French cast, and I didn't know what they were saying, but they did a damn good job. I was entertained.
Du fromage le dragon knight. I don't know why I gave him such a deep voice.
Jake, man, what are your thoughts on what Blizzard's trying to do with these casts?
I mean, it's just great. I mean, they're giving people an opportunity to get their name out there, get their YouTube some views. People are obviously interested in jumping into Heroes of the Storm casting, whether or not they've experienced casting things like StarCraft 2 or League of Legends, and people like myself, I have no casting experience other than like Melee, so it's completely different realm. So it's just cool because there's no like bad outcome.
Absolutely.
Like at all. So it's great.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I wasn't featured, but my name was there, and I've been a Blizzard fangirl for years, and getting to see my name on a Blizzard website.
I tickled at first because I was like bottom of the list, but I'm like, wait, it's
I know, like,
it's a Z.
I
It's
told that
alphabetical
to
order. Alphabetical order.
I said that, I was like, alphabetical order, man, makes me feel bad, but oh well, my name's there. That's all.
Hey
that
man, at
matters.
least you weren't like ranked last. You were just alphabetically last.
Yeah. Probably was ranked last too, but you know what? We're going to go alphabetically. So Blizzard actually announced something really cool that it's the first time they're doing it. The Tech Alpha. Basically, before the beta, just to get some testing out, Blizzard's going to be starting this alpha. It's going to be limited to very few people. More than likely, the top personalities in the esports scene, like your Day 9s, your Cryptarians, and then some well-known MOBA players. It's going to be very limited, very small amount of players in it, and it's to just basically test the game, make sure it's ready for launch. Also, they're not going to be doing beta keys this time around, which I think is just super smart.
Yes.
What are your guys' thoughts? Schamtoo, take it away.
No, actually, Jake, you had a great soliloquy about this last night at the bar, so why don't you go off on that?
Sorry, I spaced. I was doing production things.
We were talking about the alpha and how they got rid of keys.
Oh yeah, so I mean, it's really good in general, just because like with the whole Hearthstone like terrible thing where people felt they were betrayed by Blizzard because, you know, they bought a key on this website that was selling keys for $600 or whatever, and therefore they don't trust Blizzard because this key was then invalid and they got ripped off by some third party. Yeah, but that's how people feel because people are, you know,
I was laughing at Schamtoo in chat.
Gullible in general, but but yeah, no, I mean, in general, I think it's a lot better. I think the Tech Alpha is a kind of a weird term. I think it's a little confusing. Yeah. They had to explain that, but it's not really a beta yet. I mean, once they say beta, I expect it to be a little bit more open. This whole Tech Alpha is going to be really, really closed. Like you said, it's going to be the Day 9s, the Cryptarians, the, you know, Husky. It's going to be extremely limited. Like, I'd be shocked if we know, like, any friends of ours that actually get in early on. But, this guy's pointing to himself. Yeah, good luck. I mean, Godspeed.
Excuse me, man. I got featured on Blizzard.
Yo, I mean, obviously,
you know who I is.
We all want to play the game. I mean, that's a given. Yeah. But I mean, it's going to be a very small pool of people. I mean, I think we all agree on that. But not having the beta keys also means another thing. It was actually extremely beneficial for a lot of people early on in the beta to be able to say, I'm giving away beta keys. Now, people lied, and people and we're talking Hearthstone here, but people lied and said, "Oh, I'm giving away beta keys," and they were just full of crap. But people were actually giving out beta keys as well, so it benefited a lot of people. Like, you know, who are some of the guys? Trump, you know, he was a StarCraft streamer. He wasn't by any means a huge name in StarCraft, but he's like the household name for Hearthstone nowadays. It's like Trump, Arthas, and a few other guys, Ecop, but.
Crip, the one true god, sorry.
Well, yeah, Crip, of course. But, you know, I think those kind of things gave him a lot to work with, because tuning into his stream gave you a chance to get a beta key, which is actually really great. So, it's almost unfortunate that probably won't happen with Heroes, but maybe they can work something else out, like maybe they can give out beta keys for different skins, so people can get, like, free skins, and streamers can give away skins and stuff like that, because that would be really cool. They wouldn't be beta keys.
I think Blizzard's kind of gotten a lot smarter about things that people are willing to pay for. I mean, if you look at like World of Warcraft, where they're now rolling out the level 90 for $60 thing, instead of having to buy power leveling, and the things in Diablo where they tried doing all of the what was it, the real life auction house or whatever. They're trying to put money in, so that people who have that money have the ability to use it for what they want to use it for. But who knows if they're actually going to get anything for it. And I don't know what's going on with the beta. I feel like this is going to be a tech alpha, and we're going to go immediately into open beta.
I mean,
I don't think it'll be immediately open beta. I think there will be time, because they want to do a slow closed beta to test the servers. There's always about testing servers, but I believe the closed beta or the open beta will be much faster than what like Hearthstone was.
Yeah,
because in their post about the tech alpha, they even mentioned like it's not finalized. There's still a lot to be done. There's still a lot of work to do.
Yeah, it still actually is the alpha. It's not like a new name for the closed beta.
Oh yeah.
Right. Like
still is alpha.
It's very much still under development. So
I think this is a very rare instance where a company actually lets people participate in the alpha. But I guess that's because they're building it off of the StarCraft 2 engine. That they feel like, you know, it's not like it's an alpha engine. It's an alpha of the game.
That's a good point.
So I don't know what they're going to be doing with their whole testing and what they're going to release to the community, but I hope they don't go the keys route again, just because it was just such a mess with Hearthstone.
Yeah, agreed.
It was. Yeah, I mean, it was great for some people. Like I said, it was beneficial for like a few select individuals in streaming. But when it comes to the overall experience, people felt like they got betrayed by Blizzard. People got screwed over. People sold keys. It just overall not the best.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I mean, it's good to see that Blizzard is capable of just learning so fast and going the complete opposite direction when they see that something was just wrong. And I mean, I'm excited for the tech alpha. Like you said, like we've all said, it's going to be very exclusive. We're going to be lucky if any of us get into tech alpha. Like if just one person we know gets into tech alpha, it'll be fantastic.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see and it's not NDA'd, which is awesome.
Which is
so
another
people
thing
will
I
be
really
streaming it right away.
That's
Great
another
point.
thing I got to give Blizzard credit for, because a lot of companies like, for example, Elder Scrolls Online is like still like NDA'd as far as I know, right? And it's been in beta for
just
like
lifted it.
Maybe they did, but even still, it's like who cares? Blizzard's just like it's like people can't play your game, but they also can't see it. Like, it's free advertising, even if there's bugs in the game. Like, people understand that. Like, and Blizzard's just like, yeah, fine, as long as we're giving you permission to play the game, we're going to give you permission to create content and show the game. And that's how it should be. I mean, it's great.
Well, I mean, it's not like they really have much of a choice, because people have been data mining the alpha already.
Well,
and
no,
pretty
I
much
know, but
half the freaking things that they were like even had remotely tried to hide or just haven't shown yet have been leaked to everybody.
Right. But either way, it's
Yeah.
still the right call there, I think.
Yeah, oh, definitely. I agree.
I'm really interested to see how many people are let in, and then like how is it just going to be the day 9s, or are we going to see like popular? Because I know League of Legends has been like Riot's been really kind of trying to contain their pro players from playing other MOBAs. I know they did that ban of games.
They got some backlash there, but
yeah. So I'm curious to see like how broad of a spectrum we'll see with the tech alpha. Will it just be popular streamers, or are actually going to see some really fantastic MOBA players in it?
I mean,
Or
I'd be shocked if we
maybe people who run webcasts for their show.
That would be pretty cool.
Ones that get, some cool people who are from StarCraft and in MLG. Those people would be great for the tech alpha. Just a thought.
Either way,
Agreed.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see who's actually in it. I mean, like we said, the obvious is Day 9 Husky, those kind of guys. But I would not be surprised if we see some top level StarCraft players and some top level Dota 2 and League of Legends players, because obviously it is, even though they call it a heroes brawler, it is a MOBA essentially at the core. It's got some different elements to it, but so yeah, it'd be really cool. I'm super pumped. I'm just excited to be able to watch streams at work, just have new content to absorb. See a lot of different things happening, and just people testing new stuff out, breaking things, finding broken strategies. It'll just be a lot of fun in general.
Yeah. So I kind of messed up the show notes here, guys. It's
Good job.
mistake on my end. I wanted to talk about the cool combos and interesting things we saw from the Dragonshire maps.
Yep.
And since we've already talked about it, and then we skipped it, so let's go ahead and go back to that show match. I mean, Kevin, we both casted it. Was there anything really cool that you saw?
The biggest thing that I think that I really noted was actually looking at team compositions. The blue team didn't really have a tank, and they really paid for it, because red team had Stitches and they had ETC, and they were just able to just absorb all of the damage that everybody else was trying to put on them. And Stitches was dominating the top lane. Vala didn't even have a chance.
The hooks were so good from that Stitches.
Oh, the hooks were amazing.
I think he missed one.
Yeah. Like there's, I asked you about it, Kevin, because there was that one hook that was seemed to be 30 yards away. And, like there's a talent
from
right. The talent's called Fishing Hook. It's level 17.
Yeah.
So I think that was a really interesting thing to note, meta-wise, I guess would be the best way to put it. Looking at composition of how the team actually was. In terms of skills and things that really kind of worked in combination really well, there was, Abitur pretty much sat on ETC the entire time, and so ETC was able to just tank entire teams from blue.
Is he really that
And-
tanky? I mean, I know he has a self-heal.
Yeah. No,
Wow.
he
really
was tanking everything. The thing that I really actually liked, and I was actually really skeptical about this ultimate when I first heard about it, was Rainer's Banshees.
Yeah.
Tore everything up.
Yeah,
Like, the
they
Dragon
tore-
Knight was at, like, 76% health. Rainer's Banshees came out, and then it was just dead.
They're crazy strong, but I think they're also pretty squishy because you can kill them. They're one of the only
Yes.
like the Ultralisk from Sylvanas, or not Sylvanas, Kerrigan. Yeah, that was quite a misspoke, but yeah, that can be killed, and so can the Banshees. Stuff like Sylvanas, Syndragosa. I'm gonna keep saying Sylvanas, Syndragosa, and the Battlecruiser. They can't be. They cannot.
Oh,
be
don't
killed.
forget Sylvanas.
Sylvanas, yeah. Sylvanas. Anyways, yeah, no, I think it's pretty cool. I think it looks a lot better than the Battlecruiser, the Banshees, and they just hit so hard. And it's called Rainer's Raiders. Like, that's
Rainer's
it's so
Raiders.
perfect for the ability name. Like,
Yeah.
A cool play I saw was from the Abitur. What's the creep tumor spell called? I forgot it.
Abitur's, I think it's just called like Tumor, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's tumor, and it exploded. Yeah, he was laying traps with that in the bushes.
Well, yeah.
At one point, when they were pushing the final base, he did his movement across the map, burrowed behind this little spot that was very narrow choke point, and laid 3 down in front of him. And then Demon Hunter saw the Locust coming out of there, so Demon Hunter's like, oh, free kill on Abitur, and then walked into all 3 of the... Oh, it's Toxic next. Thank you, Happy Rage. He walked into all 3 of them and was down from 100% to like 22%. And I was like, Abitur, yeah!
That was pretty late in the match.
Such an awesome play. Yeah, it was very close to the end, but it made me very happy.
I do remember seeing that.
Seeing the utility of Abitur. And like you said, he was sitting on ETC the entire game, and you could see the difference it was making in those fights. You could see how much damage the little AoE spikes were doing. You could see how much the shield was helping out a lot as well. I don't know, Abitur is... I'm in love with him, man. He is so cool.
Abitur is kind of like playing like a micro-macro game, and you're the one doing the macro. Like, you pretty much watch your team fight and everything until you finally get your ultimate.
Oh, there it was, right there.
Yeah, right there. It's such a cool play. I was so happy when I saw Abitur.
And I really liked that they kept using the Dragon Knight on Abitur because he was just so weak and he's such a weak champion, so he was just able to walk through everything.
He could use the Dragon Knight, and then as soon as it was over, he would mount out and then ultimate someone else, so he's basically in the fight twice.
He can't mount. Abitur doesn't have a mount.
I mean, like, he would use his mount to teleport out of the fight, and then he would ult somebody, and just...
So if he doesn't have a mount, what does his Z do?
His Z, like, burrows him, and, like, it's like a Nexus. Or, not a Nexus.
Nidusworm?
Nidusworm.
Ah, that's very cool.
Just like an instant global teleport. It's like if TF's ultimate was back to how it was back in League of Legends. So
it's not full map. It does have a range on it.
Yeah. Oh, it was full map at BlizzCon, but yeah, maybe they fixed that.
Well, yeah. A lot of cool plays. I mean, these are just the Blizzard guys playing, and I'm sure some of them are really good at the game, but these aren't like pro players. And we're already seeing some really cool plays from the Blizzard guys. So I'm excited to see, what MOBA legends are going to be able to pull off with these heroes.
Yeah, definitely.
And Kevin, because he's good at raging as support.
Oh, yeah, raging. Yeah, really good at raging. That's about it.
All right, so more data mining happened. We got to see a lot of new skins. That Tyrael skin, I just want to start on that one, because that one was... Oh, my God.
Sith
So
Lord Tyrael. Like, Sith Lord Phantom of the Opera Tyrael.
It's so good.
It's so amazing.
Was it Sephirim? Tyrael?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that is such a cool skin. Look at that thing. It is sick.
See, I actually
colors...
hate it, but I'm glad you guys like it. See, because different things appeal to different people. I don't like it personally, but...
I think the colors and a little bit of, like, the shading needs some help. Like, it kind of, like, some pieces look really juxtaposed as what they probably... Like, it doesn't really blend all together yet.
Yeah.
But the idea for the skin, I think, is really cool. Because it's basically just completely different from Tyrael. Except for the fact that he's got wings and he's, that's about it. He's just...
I also thought Red Prince Arthas was a pretty cool skin.
I thought that was one of the more boring skins. It's basically a recolor with a horde flag on his cloak.
Yep.
I mean, it's cool. It's fan service because people that really like Arthas, they like Lich King, but they also like the Horde. I mean, that's for them. Maybe I'm biased because I've always played Alliance. Oh, but it is a cool idea to just be
Let's touch on these Abitur skins. So they're basically just what you said. They're color variants. There are 2 new Abitur skins that don't change Abitur at all. There's the Bone Abitur and the Char Abitur.
Right.
Basically, they're just recolors. Do you think these are going to cost money? And is it worth it just for a color reskin?
So if it costs money, it has to be significantly less.
Or like a pack of colors.
Right. You unlock like all the extra colors for like $3 or whatever. But I really hope it's just something. I hope they give you like incentives to play different skins, like you unlock color variants or something by playing so many games with a certain skin or something. I think that would be pretty cool. Or it's either just immediately available when you buy a skin, you get like 4 different color variants or something.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I was playing it at BlizzCon, I was just kind of upset that Abitur didn't really have the cool skins that everybody else had, like Murloc or Lurkablo. But you know, if they tie them together, it's kind of a cool color scheme for both of his things, and
I mean,
if
I think
it's cheaper and tied together, whatever.
Yeah, like I really
somebody
like
will buy them.
The Char Abitur looks really cool. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's gonna make people happy. Having more options is better, obviously.
Yeah.
But out of all the skins, I like the Schamtoo Illidan by like
really.
I think it's the coolest thing because it's like
really.
It's like if he was more like Malfurion, before he was like all, screwed
Like
up.
I like the idea. I like the idea of skins like that because it kind of just like, well, what if Raynor wasn't the good guy? What if Arthas was? I like the idea of that, but that specific skin, not a fan of. But I like the idea that Blizzard can just. This is what would have happened if Illidan wasn't the betrayer. He would have been more like his brother. I like that idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
It kind of looks like Illidan, Christmas Tree Edition.
I don't know. I thought it was sick. I got so pumped up. Like even his weapons are like made of,
The only thing that I really have reservations about is, I know they're kind of like going for like really crazy skins and stuff, but this is actually starting to get a little bit close to what Malfurion looks like.
Right.
And so this actually might start getting a little bit confusing if you're like in the middle of a team fight and there's a Malfurion on one team and an Illidan, or
his movements and animations.
Only reservation. Yeah.
He'll look different enough. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah. That's what I hope. That's all I hope. I hope that it doesn't get confusing.
Yeah.
Because if everybody gets like a Christmas Tree Edition, then it's going to be like Malfurion's killing Malfurion, who's killing Malfurion. Where's the real Malfurion? Oh, he's the guy who looks like the Moonkin.
What was it Jared that thought he was actually a Moonkin? Jared.
It looked like a Moonkin to me.
When
I looked at it closer, I was like, oh, he's just like really furry and wearing druid gear. But at first glance, I was like, oh, he's a Moonkin. That's kind of lame. But yeah, it just goes to show you that Blizzard is just still pulling out badass skins, and I can't wait to see. Like I just like check out that website every day just to see new skins because I'm so excited for them.
I refresh it probably every 3 hours or so.
Even when he's sleeping, there's a little brrrr, he's like, oh god, gotta, oh, there's a new skin, that's awesome.
Yo man, dedication.
So let's move on to were you about to say something, Jake?
I was just gonna say we can look at the other pig, but it's not really that interesting. It's just a blue pig, blue money pig.
Yeah, I like
Still
that.
hate that skin.
Yeah.
Still hate that.
The pig is so cool.
I love money pig.
I love money pig too.
All right, you can carry us on.
All right, so let's talk about potential competitive formats. This game is going competitive. There's no doubt in my mind. This game is going to be competitive.
I mean, let's just talk about the idea of esports and heroes, like, as a whole, really quick. So, I mean, a lot of people are just like, oh, it's bad because they're not designing the game to be an esport. You got a company like Smite, and you've got Infinite Crisis, and they're pretty much trying to build the game as a League or Dota clone with the intent of the game being designed as an esport. Personally, I think Blizzard's approach is significantly better. They're saying we're going to make a great game, we're going to make it really fun, and we're going to give them the tools to do whatever they want with it in terms of the map editor. And if for whatever reason our game isn't competitive, if somebody makes the traditional tri-lane map and wants to make it competitive that way, fine. So no matter what, I agree. The game will end up having an esports scene, period, hands down. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that?
Agreed, 100%.
Yeah.
I don't see it not like Blizzard games. They're competitive. Like WoW still has competitive arena tournaments.
It's true.
All the damn time.
I watched it at BlizzCon a little bit.
So like, I mean,
yeah, I don't really see this game not being competitive. They have the fan base that are going to try and make anything that they pretty much throw out to be serious in some way or form, and competitive is the easiest way to go about that.
Yep.
And yeah, there's no doubt about it. Now, how it's actually going to be formed, I have no idea.
It's going to take time.
That's going to be an interesting thing. Like, I guess like each tournament's going to have like a set map pool.
It'll take time.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of like, you know, let's say we wanted to host a tournament, the town hall tournament. What would we do for, like, you know, let's say if we just had alpha access right now?
So
well, that's what we're here to talk about.
Yeah,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Just
let's start with maps. Like, how would that be done? Like, will we have a single map, or will there be map drafts? Will it be picks and bans? You know, there's 4 maps we know of right now.
Right. So I mean, of the 4 maps is actually a weird number, and 4 maps is actually terrible for any tournament, to be limited to a 4-map pool. So I think what events would do is there would either be a 5th map, and it would be a best of 5 format, or it would just be 3 maps, and it would just be like you could choose, okay, no matter what, you're going to play all 3 maps, like a round robin style. Everyone plays everyone. All 3 maps are played. So say it's an invitational, 8 teams. All teams are going to play each other, and all teams are going to play on all 3 maps. And then the teams with the best scores, you know, advance to like the next stage of the tournament. I see that being the most likely. 4 maps is just, in general, just kind of not good for anything, because even numbers is bad when it comes to tournament formats.
The way you can make 4 maps work is if you had a sort of seeding style bracket. The number 1 seed gets first map choice.
Right. Yeah, but
that's the only way you could actually make 4 maps work. But I agree.
But then you're going to be doing like a ban pick process, and one map's going to be left out. And I think it's just better to have, if you're going to have multiple different maps, all of those maps should at least have the potential of being played without being vetoed, you know, one each time.
I think the best format that you could probably do for it is, if you have 4 maps, is just do round robins, and each team plays 1 of each map or something like that, or 2 of each map, and you keep rotating through the 4 maps as you keep playing other teams.
That's fine, but
you know, like, so everybody
that
has
works for group stages. But
yeah, but what do you do once you get to the bracket?
Yeah.
It's tough. Like I said, 4 maps is just a bad number for competitive formats.
It really is.
So other tournaments would say we're going to play on these 3 maps, and we're not going to play on, you know, Dragonshire. But
now, what we did at Playhem was the round of like 64 would be like Zelnaga Towers. You know, the round of 32 would be a different map. Do you see that being a possibility where each round would have a different map that you play a best of 3 on, or at least one starting map that, like, round 64 you start on this map and then loser picks the next map or something?
That's
it's a possibility.
Yeah.
The only issue is, I mean, yes, you'd maybe have to like swap them back and forth with which position, because I mean, you look at something like League of Legends or even Dota, where there is, like, the positions of the things on the map actually depend, like, kind of really influence it. And it's like, oh yeah, this bush you can see a little bit more than on this bush, so it's easier. Or the top lane for blue is easier because you can block creeps with your health bar. Like, these are things that you have to consider when you're looking at map balances. And that's where it becomes a little bit, you know, you have to come up with some sort of balance for... And when you have 4 or 5 maps, that's, you know...
Yeah, you're right. I agree.
It's an interesting like we haven't seen it in a MOBA. That's what's so exciting about Heroes.
I agree.
The concept of multiple maps. It's going to be really interesting to see how it develops. I have no clue. I mean, you never know if just like a month into the game, people are like, Dragonshire is stupid as shit. It's not.
Yeah.
No one wants to play it anymore.
Yeah.
There's so much possibility. Like, I don't think that's going to happen because Dragonshire.
Dragonshire is going to be the
Dragonshire-
steps of war.
Well, Dragonshire looks sick, in my opinion. I think it's one of the better looking maps, but it does look kind of steamrolly at the same time. But Blizzard has actually come out and said, look, we're going to retire maps, we're going to add new maps, so it's going to be like StarCraft 2 in the sense where the map pool is changing, and I think that's fantastic. And if a change is just like a different version of Dragonshire with like some new element, like maybe there's a third shrine or something, that's fine, because the mechanics and the strategy still changes. But
Yeah.
no, it's going to be really cool because I always look forward to the map pools changing in StarCraft 2. It always stirs it up. Like I've been watching Shoutcraft, and they have like the weirdest maps because it's all community-made maps, and it's just super fun to watch. It's different, it's exciting, it's new. Like new strategies are happening, so it's great. But
I like it.
yeah.
I can't wait to see what happens. Any final thoughts on how maps are going to work, guys?
It's just going to be interesting, like we're saying.
Yeah. It's
If we were supposed to host a town hall tournament tonight, we had to pick how we're going to do maps for a best of 16 tournament.
Yep.
best of
How would
3.
we-
Everybody
how would we-
vetoes 2 maps.
That would leave.
That doesn't. There's not 5 maps. I mean, if there was
No.
5 maps,
If they choose the same map, then
No.
that one's obviously gone. And then
if there was 5 maps, that would be the perfect tournament format.
yeah.
Lower seed vetoes first, then higher seed vetoes, and then it goes higher seed, lower seed, higher seed to pick the maps or something to that nature. I think that would be probably one of the better tournament formats, but they would need a 5th map, which is completely reasonable because there's already 4. The game's not even in technical alpha, so I could see that happening by the time we start seeing tournaments. I think that
They need to add a random map feature similar to Smash. Just click random map, picks one for you.
I'm sure I would be shocked if they don't have that. If they don't have that for custom games, I'd be shocked. Honestly, because
Spin the wheel to see what map you have to
no,
play.
but that's fun because we can't decide on.
I'm Bob Barker.
If you can't decide, no, I want to play in Dragonshire, and you're playing with a bunch of friends, no, just hit random.
Yeah.
That way, no, you don't have to argue. So if they don't have that feature, that'd just be terrible, honestly.
Yep.
Okay. Well, let's move on to how the hero draft is going to work. For those of you who aren't familiar with how League of Legends does it, you either have the blind pick where both teams can't see what other player or what other team is picking, but you can choose whatever champion you want without having to, wait or, you can have the same hero. And then there's draft mode where one team picks a hero, then the second team can see what hero they pick, and then they get to pick 2.
Right.
And another team picks 2. Other team picks 2. The last guy picks for the other team.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that being a thing for heroes? Do you see a problem with there being 2 Rainers in a competitive match?
I really like the draft process. I think it adds a ton of strategy to the game. I think it adds, a really cool dialogue leading into the game.
Yeah.
And I think it's almost necessary for a competitive format.
Yeah, I think draft would probably be best. I would not like them to do bans because we can already see how ineffective bans are in League of Legends.
They're more of like a sniper tool.
Yeah,
One
but
guy's known
it's
for
really
playing one
cool.
hero.
Yeah, it adds that thing to a top level where pro players have to have multiple. They have to be like a Swiss Army knife. They can't just be like, I'm the best Sylvanas in the game.
Screw that, man. If I'm watching Mad Life, I want to see him play frickin' Blitzcrank. I don't want to see Blitzcrank banned.
I don't know. I love it.
All right. I want the person who's really good at that champion to play that champion because that's the fun part of watching him be good.
So draft's definitely a must for competitive play, but
Yeah.
picks or bans. Kevin's on the
I don't
fence.
know.
I agree with Jake that I like the idea of bans.
I like the idea.
That's because you're dumb. You're all dumb. I'm done with this show. I'm out.
Because eventually there's going to be quite a few heroes in the game. I expect to see around 40 by the time open beta hits, but who knows? But yeah, once it gets a few years down the road and there's 80 heroes in the game, we're gonna want. I think the bans just adds a lot because the pool is gonna just be ridiculous, and people will have an arsenal of heroes they can play from, even if they're known for being the best, Rainer in the game. They're still gonna be pretty good with Nova or something to that extent. So, I think it should be in the game.
Nope. You're dumb. You're all dumb.
I agree with Jake.
That's because you're dumb too.
So let's move on to how we see the tournament going as best of 3, best of 5, best of 7 versus League of Legends and LCS. They do best of 3s because sometimes a long match can last 50 minutes.
Right.
Blizzard has said several times that there is no match that's going to last more than like 30 minutes ever. They are always quick games. So, do you think we'll see more tournaments going to a best of 5, or will it always be best of 3 and then potentially like best of 5 for the semifinals and best of 7 for the finals?
I think you will not see best of 5. There's no point, honestly. I mean, it's nice, but it draws out series, especially if you're running like a larger event. Because when you run something like Dota 2 at MLG, the games actually take so long that you can, and you run best of 3s, that you can only invite like 8 teams.
Yeah, Dota takes forever.
Which really sucks, because then the opportunity for teams is extremely limited. So by keeping it best of 3, you open the doors for more teams. So you can maybe run a 32-man bracket with 2 streams and do best of 3s, and then do best of 5 as the finals. Maybe best of 5 as semis and best of 7 for the finals. That doesn't make it's not a huge time impact right there, because it's only like 3 or 4 games. But maybe instead of semis you say winners finals are best of 5 and loser finals are best of 5 and grand finals are best of 7. That makes a little bit more sense. But yeah, I really think that keeping it best of 3 to open the doors for more teams in a larger bracket is definitely better.
And I mean, not only that, but you also get a lot more data points as to what's going on in the game. If you have any type of best of 1s and whatnot, unless it's like round robin, it makes it a little bit difficult to see which team is really dominant.
Better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd really like to see best of 3s and then best of 5s for finals. And even then, best of 5s is not even going to be that long. And God forsake we ever get to best of 7s. God forsake it. Because I hate it even when it's in frickin' StarCraft, and that's even quicker.
I hate it in StarCraft, but I think it's fine for like Street Fighter, and it's fine for like Melee, and Marvel, but that's it. That's it.
I mean,
I agree.
I think best of 5 is even pushing it in a way, but
I
don't see a way that we can scale up from the best of 3 for finals.
Yeah.
Now, going a little bit off of subject here, let's say we were to do a show match. One team versus another. Team Destiny versus Team Happy Rage.
Team Schamtoo beat Team Zoia.
Damn, shots fired.
Maybe. Depends on if I play Barbarian or not, because she is complete cheese. Would you do best of 7 for a show match in this game?
Yeah.
And how would you do map rotations with a best of 7 format?
Well, see, that gets complicated. If there's only 4 maps and it becomes best of 7, it actually becomes kind of a problem. You're right.
That's what I was curious about. Like, how would we do a best of 7 right this second?
You can't.
It would have to be.
You really can't.
You can.
It sounds my phone.
You can, but it would have to be, like I said kind of earlier, like you have the 2 seeds, and then there's a set format where, maybe higher seed chooses first, and then lower seed chooses 2 maps, and then higher seed gets the last map, and then it resets, and then the lower seed chooses, and then higher seed chooses. It would have to be some kind of weird pre-written rule where it's based on seeds that choose X, 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 and then it resets, and then for the last 3 maps you choose 3 more. But it's obviously not ideal, so again, that comes down to the fact that if there's 5 maps, you can do a best of 5 comfortably. Best of 7 would still be a little bit awkward, because I'd be pretty surprised if we ever have 7 active maps on the ladder for Heroes of the Storm.
And we go back to Dragonshire for the 3rd time.
That's
this
a good
round.
point.
Like that's too much.
It's much different. It's much different than with StarCraft, because StarCraft, I could go 1-1-1 on any damn map and be able to cheese some
Right.
kid out of a tournament.
You're talking
But
in
on Heroes, every single map, your strategy is going to be completely different.
Yeah, and when you're talking about coordinating with 5 people with a massive pool of heroes, it's way too much. It's overkill. Even 5 is actually quite a lot. So I'd almost say 3 is the best number, but 5 is okay. But 7 is way too many active maps at one time.
Yeah, definitely.
So best of 7 should never be done, in my opinion.
I think I really like if they were to keep 3 maps competitively ladder at all times. Just 3. That's it.
I agree. I agree. If we had to drop one of the 4 right now, which would you drop?
Booty Bay or
yeah.
whatever.
Blackheart Bay.
Blackheart Bay.
Blackheart Bay. Booty Bay. I like Booty Bay.
Booty Bay is a ton of
Schamtoo like that booty.
I really like the skull one. I can't believe I'm forgetting its name right now because I like it a lot. The concept of it. What's the Hollowed Mines? Cursed Mines?
Hollowed Mines. Yeah.
There's
Cursed Hollow, something like that. I really like the idea of that one.
Dragonshire.
Dragonshire.
I think
is
it's
just
Haunted
awesome.
Mines. I think it's just
Haunted Mines, yeah.
And I do not like Blackheart Bay.
Raven.
Oh, I don't know. I'm terrible with. I don't know. I've played Melee for years. I still get names wrong in that game. So.
So yeah, I draw up the.
Yeah. So what champs would you guys play? Huh?
Stop playing champs.
Heroes?
Stop playing champs.
It was a joke. It was a
Yeah,
joke.
I know it was, but I still hate you.
So any last thoughts on competitive format, guys? Because I think we hashed it out there. It's going to be weird the first 5 months of this game.
I mean, I don't think it's going to be universal between one tournament. I think ESL is going to run it one way, and LG is going to run it a different way, and whoever's going to run their tournaments a little bit differently. But over time, I think it kind of will just of have a set format across the board.
It's interesting because, like with Hearthstone, it's new to esports for sure, but there have been competitive card games for a long time. So there's basically a tournament format already out, and most tournaments are adapting that. But for Heroes, this is a genre that has a completely different map format, so it's new ground for any tournament out there. So I agree with you completely. Yeah. Every tournament's going to do it differently.
Yep. Until
we find the better one. Kev, you good on this?
Yep, I'm good on this.
All right, so this is what I'm really actually excited to talk about. Let's talk about the towers in Heroes of the Storm.
Okay.
They are so freaking cool in this game, and the fact, I really like the ammo concept of these towers. How do you think that's going to work out on a professional level? Do you think we're going to be seeing people forcing towers to use their ammo quicker? Are there going to be timing attacks with these towers? I mean, how much thought are just the ammo of a tower going to come into a professional gamer's head?
So, when you put the ammo on a tower, it creates. Did I interrupt you? Were you doing something fancy?
I have like a fucking lecture on this topic, but no, go ahead, Jake.
All right, I'll go first.
Go ahead.
So
you sandbagged me, by the way. You sandbagged me.
You put the mechanic of the ammo on the tower, and you have a lot of different unique heroes in the game that have pushing mechanics. So you have Gazel that can just throw a turret in front of their towers, which will soak up 3 or 4 hits. You have Abitur, who actually spawns his little. I guess it's a swarm host, locust. That's what it's called. And granted, that's his passive, and it happens pretty rarely. But there's going to be other heroes. I mean, we've seen. Is it Naziba? No. What's the queen's name?
Oh my god!
We've seen it. It's the queen from the Heart of the Swarm campaign.
I'm going to say that the Heroes of the Storm chat is doing its job, because as soon as you said Naziba, my mind immediately went to push or feed.
Mine too.
Push or feed. Push or feed.
Naziba, push or feed. Oh, no, that's not what we're talking about.
I think it starts with an N, but anyways, the queen, I think it summons hydras, and it can shoot banelings and stuff. So any kind of hero that summons something that can soak up damage can really just force it to use its ammo. Zagara. There you go. Not an N at all. Thanks, Jester.
He's got our back, man.
Yeah. But so with those kind of heroes in the game, I think you have to worry. Those heroes might not have a ton of DPS output, but they can really push or feed significantly more if they're not, kept in check.
So Kev, rant
go. Away.
So let's talk about how we can take over jungles and have those jungles push, right? So now you have this lane that's going to automatically push, and most of those have the ranged, like, well, some of them have the ranged attack, some of them are just, like, super beefy. So now you have this mechanic where you're going to have a lane that's just going to push by itself, because you're going to have creeps that are constantly going in, the towers are going to be, the creeps that they have are going to be overwhelmed by these jungle creeps. You can have just one person who just stays with them, and you can take out, like, a lane by yourself. There's 2 towers, they can easily be pushed.
Yep.
Or you can set up something where it's like, okay, we're level 9, we're going to set up right outside, and we're going to try and tank as many tower shots as we possibly can, maybe heal up, or maybe just, like, let our creeps push up. And while we're doing that, we're going to hit 10, and then as soon as the towers, like, time it so that your level 10 hits when the towers are out of ammo. So that they can't contest the fact that you're just about to take that tower. Like, if you have a level advantage or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, I've been thinking of so many different strategies of how to abuse that, towers are going to be running out of ammo. You have these mobs in the jungle that can just automatically push lanes, where either you leave them be and just let them push a lane so that their enemies have to go,
Right. Yep.
you go swing up top or something. I think it opens up a lot of strategy to the game. Not only that, but the ability for you to level up all of your champions on your team and be in a better position. So I think using the ammo, you can definitely just keep pushing a lane, and you're not going to be stuck in these situations we run into in other MOBAs where it's just kind of going to go back and forth, because you can just have, like, 4 people shove a lane, wait for the towers to run out of ammo, which is really quick, and then just take it.
Yep. It's true. If the pressure is there, the tower's going to fall. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just a mechanic that's designed to help the games progress more quickly. Like the objectives, everything's about making the games end sooner than later, which is fantastic, because I am not down for, an hour-plus minute games once a night.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's really kind of takes a toll on any game, and especially because in this game, action happens pretty freaking quick.
Yeah, level 1, you can have team fights.
Everything, yeah. Level 1, you have team fights going on, and I mean, even in StarCraft, or it's a one-on-one and whatnot, you don't have that type of, like, until 6 minutes you normally are waiting for StarCraft, unless it's like cheese. In this game, level 1, 2 minutes in, maybe tops, and you're gonna already have action.
As soon as the objectives are spawning, you're having, engagements.
Yep.
Well, next week I definitely want to touch on the jungle more, because you saying that little bit made me really want to.
You want to touch my jungle?
Touch a jungle all day.
Touch my jungle.
But yeah, I mean, I think the tower design is so. Everything about Heroes is so unique. Whenever you talk about a game trying to do something new, usually it's kind of like, you just fell on your face. But Blizzard, man, they have really done a good job. Quit copying me, Jake.
It's possible that these are things that maybe they didn't really intend. They're just thinking, we're tired of towers having infinite ammo. Let's get rid of it and everything. But that's kind of what happened with StarCraft Brood War, was all these things that were just kind of somehow worked together in a perfect synergy and made such a great game. Diablo 2 had the same thing, and then they even added on top of that by adding skill tree synergies. So hopefully, this was a lot more planned out.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, from what I can already start thinking about when I'm looking at this game, it seems like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, we know it's going to.
But it's also going to be really frustrating if you're losing. Like, if you're losing and you don't have an ability to come back, you're going to be.
We'll see. I mean, some of the maps do look like they could be, quite steamrolly, which is or snowball.
Like Dragon Knight.
Yeah, Dragon Knight. Yeah, as soon as you have the Dragon Knight, the map does look snowbally as hell, for sure. But
that one definitely looked more snowbally than the others. But Blizzard have said several times that they have been down and out, and they've made comebacks when they didn't think that was possible.
I mean, that goes back to the jungle. The jungle can just turn the tide. Like if you can get.
That's why next week I just want to pound.
Let's do it. Let's do it. That sounds good to me.
All right. Any last thoughts on towers, guys? I mean.
I think that covers
let's give it like a rating or something. I think the tower system's awesome, like 5 stars for me.
Give it a rating. All right.
9 out of 10. Would buy again. Would buy again.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I haven't played with them yet, but I think it's much better. You know, it's a good solution to making towers more vulnerable, but still a strong mechanic. And one thing we didn't mention about the towers is the fact that there's the 2 towers rather than 1, and there's the wall in between separating them, which can be destroyed, allowing you to dive. So if you for whatever reason want to destroy the wall before you destroy the tower, just so that you can kind of tower dive, that's an option. So I think it's cool that they made that part of the design rather than just having the traditional 1 tower. It's now a blocked off wall. The path is closed. It's quite cool.
You shall not pass.
You shall not pass.
You shall not pass. But, however, if Falstad is there, it's going to be fly, you fool.
God, he looks like the most fun character in the game. Seriously, I cannot wait to play as Falstad.
What I'm excited for, it's random, but I hope when the Tech Alpha launches, there's like 10 heroes that we didn't know were going to be in the game that are just like, oh shit!
Don't even tickle my brain like that. Just stop.
Okay, guys, let's move on to our hero design segment. This week we actually went... Okay, let's rephrase that. Jake went overboard on the graphics. I think this week is going to be a much better presentation. We decided to go with Phoenix, and for those of you who don't know Phoenix, he is from StarCraft Brood War, and he is a badass. Steward of the Templar. That is not Phoenix, it's a Zealot that doesn't have brown markings on his face.
You were very upset about that, and I just did the traditional MS Paint brown markings on his face, and it looked pretty awful. We thought about leaving it there, but no. This is somebody's fan art, to my knowledge. I don't know if it's official Blizzard art, whoever you made it. It's fantastic. I couldn't find the original, artist, but it's a sick picture. Anyways.
Kevin, you want to take away with some just brief ability, describe what each ability does before we go into the more in-depth slides?
I almost went into my Morello voice. So when we were thinking about Phoenix, so when we were deciding how we wanted to do Phoenix, we thought about the biggest thing that's cool about Heroes of the Storm is a character can either be tanky or can do damage, and that's what we wanted for Phoenix because Zealots in StarCraft and StarCraft 2 were either super damage heavy or you could go something like a +2 armor attack and make a push. So they can either be damagey or really tanky. And so our ability that we added to Phoenix was, of course, for Q, Cybernetic Enhancements, which just makes him move faster and do attack speed for.
We'll get into the more.
But
specifics.
the coolest thing is we have a shield for him, and the shield mechanic is really what's the coolest part about everything. And then, of course, we gave him 2 awesome ults. But let's go into more specific stuff.
Yeah,
so Jake, take it away.
Yeah, so I mean, basically, we wanted to do something that's just unique because there's a lot of different tanky heroes that they're all different, but they're all have some pretty similar elements to them. There's a million characters have charge, a million characters have a whirlwind or a cleave, but we made his heroic trait, which everyone has, basically just be a plasma shield. Now Kerrigan does have some kind of shield where I think she deals damage and gains shield. But this is just your traditional Protoss shield where it regenerates on top of his health. So we kind of made the shield. Now, granted, this is our design, not an actual character. But we made his shield work so that he can basically deal more damage with one of his abilities using the shield by depleting it. And Kev, if you want to explain cybernetic enhancements to get that out of the way, because it's not involving.
It's the one thing that doesn't really have perfect synergy with the other,
right?
With the trait and the W and E. Cybernetic enhancements. Cybernetic enhancements.
Yeah, go ahead.
Anyway, cybernetic enhancements basically is just an attack speed buff as well as a move speed buff. Because we were thinking about the old StarCraft Brood War. You get the upgrade at the Citadel of Adun, and then your Zealots just move a lot quicker. So we thought that would be a really cool thing for him to have, is just to have something kind of harkens back to what Zealots normally have. But other than that, I mean, it's a pretty boring ability. It's just kind of like a gap closer that's not a charge, because everybody in this game has a charge.
Yep, I agree. But moving on to his W, this is kind of like what tickled our brains with the entire character, I think, more than anything else.
It's the W plus the E combo, but
and production fail. Anyways,
well done, Jake.
So Plasma Shockwave, it's basically this kind of creates a really cool mechanic for the character that really got us excited, where if your shields are full, it's going to do more damage. Basically, Phoenix will overload his shields, depleting them, causing damage around him. And this will work in synergy with his E, which is Hardened Shield, and just his heroic trait as it is. So if you have full shields, it's going to do more damage. But it's going to deplete your shields either way, so it's going to be kind of risky to do. So that obviously it'll have a pretty low cooldown. I think it would be cool to just be able to use it to push back the creep waves, and his shield will generate pretty quickly when you're out of combat. But in a team fight, you could then use his E ability to give yourself additional shields on top of the full shields and do additional damage with it. So, I mean, Jared, you want to talk more on this?
Yeah, so the way Hardened Shield works is you use it and then regenerates your shields to full, plus an additional 50 shields for 10 seconds. So you'll be at 150 shields for additional 10 seconds, and then it'll go down. So there's cool combos you can pull off with it. You can either use your Plasma Shockwave and then immediately be back to full shield, so you're still alive and tanky. Or you can use Hardened Shields, be at 150, have a little bit of extra damage, and then use Plasma Shockwave to do an extra amount of burst. So that goes back to what Jake and Kevin were saying about how we wanted him to be very dynamic, to where he can be full tanky, or he can be just massive burst DPS, which the talent trees have done a really good job of allowing you to decide where you want to go with your character.
Yeah, definitely.
So I mean, yeah, that's the really cool thing, and as soon as you hit the talent trees point there, so you can then have something where like his AOE does added damage, or his Hardened Shields then reduces all damage that he takes as well. And so you can then build him into either being like a super damage or a super tank. And that's what we thought the shields and the Plasma Shockwave would give Phoenix.
Yeah, it'd just be super fun to have different builds, and you'll never going to know which way they're going to go with the character. So.
And then for our heroic abilities that we thought of for Phoenix, how could we possibly have forgotten his R? When in StarCraft Brood War he was finally taken down, or actually StarCraft 1, he was finally taken down, we wanted to have I Have Returned, in which Phoenix turns into a Dragoon for 30 seconds. While in this form, he has 20% move speed, 20% added attack speed, and all ranged attacks instead of melee. And they're going to be like pretty long range attacks too, because he's going to have research at the cybernetics for that plus Dragoon range.
So yeah, basically with this, if you actually use your ult and then use Cybernetic Enhancements, it's going to be like a Dragoon on crack. Like a stim Dragoon, basically.
Yep. Like, take out all the Marines immediately.
And we didn't write it down, but there will be pathing issues.
Yeah. Yeah, every third step he's going to go in just a random direction. And it could be through walls. He could just glitch through walls and just walk off the map.
Gotta stay true to the original Dragoon.
And it's proper balance that way.
And then Disruption Web. We wanted to bring back something cool from Brood War, and Disruption Web, really cool spell. Phoenix throws down a web of electricity, preventing all units in buildings from attacking and casting abilities. So this is more of a, I guess this would be the better choice for like a tanky Phoenix. You want to be able to support your team as well as get a little bit of crowd control on.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it'd be interesting to use it on towers, bringing the tower mechanic into play. Drop that on towers and just initiate a fight, or just dive the towers in general. Use it in that way.
I mean, again, this kind of just harkens back into you'd want to use I Have Returned if your team needs more DPS, or you'd want to use Disruption Web if you want to be a little bit tankier and deny your enemies from using their long-ranged abilities and whatnot, and closing those gaps and being tanky. So that's what we thought for Phoenix. We tried to give him like
a lot of fun,
a really dynamic skill set, and be really super Protoss heavy. So, once again, this is just a fake champion that we came up with, but it's really kind of cool and fun. We're not sure if we're going to continue this segment, unless you guys really think a lot about this, or you guys really like it.
Yeah, I mean,
Arrows was pretty generic.
Soon we're just going to start looking more in depth into the champions that exist.
Once we actually have the game in our
once
hands,
we
and there's
have
a
the
lot of
games
content,
in our
I think we'll probably focus on other things, but This is just kind of something to tickle our brains, while we wait for the game to come out.
Yep. We did our Garrosh, question thing about on Reddit, and the feedback was, kind of either negative or wanting it to improve. And Phoenix, we kind of went over we really pushed ourselves to the limit on this one. We'll do another one, see how you guys like it, and, we'll go from there. It's a lot of fun to do, but...
Yeah, balance it out. Do one for Diablo.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll figure it out.
Yep.
But, Phoenix, a lot of fun to make. Big shout out to Kev here. He came up with that awesome mechanic for the shields, which made Phoenix really awesome.
We got so hyped.
The best thing I've ever come up with, except for my fan art that's coming up later today.
Damn. Yeah, we'll get there soon.
Well, let's go ahead and jump into the fan art. So Finkellinks gave us something really cool. He sent us an email to our townhallalliance@gmail.com when we were talking on last show about Brightwing, and Kevin brought up a Mutalisk skin. He actually drew one and submitted it to the show. Jake, go ahead and throw it up, man. It looks...
Okay, hold on. I didn't bring up the Mutalisk
Corey
skin.
came up with
that
it.
That was Corey.
Yeah, you keep...
My bad.
Everybody attributed it to me, and I'm just gonna go with it, but it was actually Corey.
That was totally Corey. My bad.
Anyways. My bad, Corey. Much love. Look at that thing, though. That thing is sick. Really big shout out to Finkellinks, because, man... I'm gonna go ahead and type his Twitter out in chat so you guys can give him a follow. He is...
Spell it for me. I'll put it in the stream.
It's a F-L-I-K-E links. One word.
F-L-I-K-E links? Okay.
No, that's not it.
Because that's not Finkel. It's...
I put it in chat. You can see it now.
Uh-oh. Too many overlays. Anyways, I'll let this chat.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool because it's Mutalisk as well as being still incredibly fairy dragon-ish.
Yeah, no, I was
the Jewish just had the tail curl in, so you've got that gross mouth that the Mutalisk has.
I think all of us would buy this because I remember when I saw that tweet, I just flipped out with excitement because.
Oh yeah. You should have saw. Did you see my Skype chat? Whenever I checked the email, I was like,
"Guys, get online!
Like
get online now! Someone need to talk to somebody." Yeah, it's pretty annoying actually.
So it's so cool, man. That is such a good skin. And then we got another skin from some random.
Yeah, let me.
Go ahead and put up the other skin.
The best. Wait! Hold on. You can't just softball it in there. Ladies and gentlemen, the best skin that's ever been invented by mankind. There you go. Now you can put it up there.
Nope.
This one was production errors. This one was actually designed by Kev, and it came from a stupid pun he made.
A stupid pun. It's the best pun that's ever existed.
I didn't even download it because I didn't want it on my computer.
It's a Nova skin, and she's dressed in Canadian garb, and she's called Nova Scotian. How can you possibly hate that? It's amazing. So, my roommate actually came up with the best idea to tie into this.
So your skin's already incomplete? Is that what you're telling us?
Instead of giving her ice skates, we give her skis, so she's a biathlon, like the Winter Olympics biathlon competitor.
I like it. She's got a rifle?
She's got a rifle? She's got a hockey stick for some strange reason, who knows?
She better leave a trail of snow behind her when she skis around.
Oh, hell yeah. And she's wearing a Terran hockey jersey.
I like it. I would buy this skin. I like it more than the roller skates Nova, personally.
I'm not Canadian, and I would immediately buy this. Maybe because...
Anyways.
So I think that's it for our show today. Zolia's just been quiet the entire time since that pun, that skin's been up there.
Yep.
I'm embarrassed, man. That's just pure Kev fashion right there. He draws a skin, and it's a pun. It's great though. So guys, if you want to submit any questions for next week's episode or any fan art for any hero that you want to draw fan art for, go ahead and send us an email to townhallalliance@gmail.com. Thanks, Kevin. I mean, I was screaming like a little girl when we got that fan art. So if you just want to send us anything that's like anything at all.
Yeah, if you have any cool ideas and you want to show us your stuff, we'd appreciate it.
If you have any cool ideas ever, that'd be cool.
Any topics you want us to bring up?
I mean, the opportunities are ridiculous. Like, I remember when I saw at BlizzCon when they showed off the medic Uther. Like, I don't necessarily care about Uther, but I got so hyped when I saw medic Uther.
Yeah.
So
I think I got more hyped from seeing Mecha Tassadar.
Oh god. What?
Mechasaurus.
I don't know if you guys watched the So You Think You Can Cast done by Browder and why is his name slipping me?
Kevin Naki,
Naki.
gosh.
Cat's Pajama, that's what we're gonna call him.
Kevin Naki?
Kevin
Anyways.
Naki.
Yes, Kevin Naki. He made a reference to the skin. He said he wanted to see a kaiju Diablo, and I'm like, yo, that'd be the coolest skin versus Mecha Tassadar. So it's kind of like Pacific Rim. I don't know if you guys have seen Pacific Rim, but I thought it was a really cool reference, and I'm just like, yo, I want to see kaiju Diablo now. Why is that not a skin? So someone should draw kaiju Diablo.
Well, thanks everybody
That
for
is
tuning in.
simply
to
the
Town Hall,
worst.
Town Hall episode 3. I mean, I love this show. It's so much fun to do. I hope you guys enjoy watching it. Let's go ahead and get started with... Actually, any last thoughts, guys, before I end the show?
Yeah, I can't wait for the technical alpha. I hope it's soon. Hope it's sooner than later. I mean, I really didn't expect to get any news until, like, at least April, so I'm already ecstatic, but as soon as we have actual content to consume, that'd be great. Having one show match every couple of weeks is like, you know,
Killing us, man. Blizzard. Come on. I know you've got like 400 replays per player that's in the freaking alpha right now, so just start throwing up replays and we'll freaking cast them, man.
That would be cool.
Yep.
That would be cool. But yeah, no, I just cannot wait for the game to be live. Honestly.
I agree completely.
Yep.
Kev?
That's really pretty much what I'm saying too. Is I just want more game. I want to play the game. I want to be in the tech alpha. Screw content. I want to be in the tech alpha. I want to play the game. I want to just sit here. I want to quit my job and quit everything and just become a hermit.
Live Heroes of the Storm.
Yep. I don't have the money to do that, but I want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely have the money to do that. I'm a ritzy baller, yo.
I got the esports money. I'll just do it at work.
Kev, shoutouts, go!
Shout outs to my buddy Justin. Oh my god, if you've paid attention to the Huffington Post, Yahoo News, or anything, my friend Justin was the guy who did all the selfies and with the engagement ring.
I think I'm the only person that knows about this.
And yeah, so whatever. He got engaged this past week, and I'm super happy for him, and I love him, and he was on Chilean news, and he took selfies with an engagement ring in front of his girlfriend, and she was too oblivious to realize it, and he did it, like, for the whole entire night. Anyway, he was on Chilean news, and the title was, like, Hombres de Selfies, which is all I care about. Just selfies in Spanish is selfies. So that's a thing that we all now know. That's my shout-out, selfies, Hombres de Selfies.
Shout out to selfies.
Follow him
Shout
at
out.
Schamtoo.
Selfies. Yeah, follow me at Schamtoo or something. I don't know.
Jake, take it away, man.
Yeah, Twitter /SolidJakeGG, YouTube /SolidJakeGG. On YouTube, I do kind of like a champion spotlight kind of thing. It's called Heroes Highlight. I haven't done one in quite some time because I'm waiting for the game to come out. I made a couple of videos, and a lot of the information is actually already obsolete because it was like BlizzCon info. So, anyways, I'm going to do a ton of content for the game as soon as it goes live. The show may be moving to a new location soon, and we'll have more info on that. But that's just going to mean a lot of content coming out from all of us in general. As soon as the alpha's live. Not this guy, not Schamtoo. He's not like top 2 caster in the world right now or anything.
Top 2 caster in the world for Heroes of the Storm.
Yo, you're on those rankings. Number 2.
First off, I'm featured. I'm not number 2. Get
Hey,
it straight.
it could be worse. It could be alphabetically sorted with your name starting with a Z. Damn it.
Hey, who chose your name to start with a Z? Was it my idea? I don't think so.
I knew I should have named myself Aoa.
And I'll do Corey shoutouts. He couldn't be here tonight for family reasons, like I said, but you can follow him at omegablackmage on Twitter. And I will be doing a lot of casts
What are
with
you
him.
talking about? Corey's right there. He's dancing.
He's dancing.
Yeah.
He's dancing. Yo, I'm sad I didn't use all my other slides because I had a million different Black Mage dances. Well, that's okay. It's okay. Next time.
Just
Alright, you got...
even when Corey is here, just put that over it. I mean, like, I love Corey and I love his bald head and everything.
I'll just
But
work.
I've been literally watching that Black Mage the entire time.
I know,
thinking
me
of the
too.
Final Fantasy IX Black Mage Village music.
I'll make it into the show. I'll work it into the graphics. All right.
Alright, you guys can follow me at IVD Zoia. You can follow my team at IVD Gaming on Twitter. I am on the professional Hearthstone team, but I've been moving slowly towards Heroes of the Storm. So you can follow my team at IVD Gaming, like I said. You can also follow the show's Twitter at Town Hall Show on Twitter as well. We only have like 18 followers, so please give that a follow. All VODs for the show will end up on Solid Jake's YouTube, so make sure you check them out there. Any questions you guys have, again, townhallalliance@gmail.com, fan art and stuff, please send it in. We love seeing that kind of thing. And yeah, so thank you guys for tuning in. This is episode 3 of Town Hall. We'll see you guys same time and potentially not the same place, but
Next
we'll
week.
post stuff. We'll post stuff for next week. We will be live, though, next week, so we'll see you guys then. Take care.
Peace. I'm gonna make you dance.